And I say to you today, the future will be progressive or conservative, but it will not be both. New Labour is in the fight of our lives, and it is the fight for ours and yours future. And I have faith in Britain, in our people and in our businesses. I'm confident the future is one of prosperity that can be both sustained and shared. I'm confident in the vision we hold and the values that lead us towards it. I'm confident in the team I lead and the promises and policies that we promote. At the heart of this manifesto is the great and common purpose of national renewal. If we are elected to implement it, we will equip the British people for the future. Yes, we are in the future business. We are building a future fair for all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's only fair to take questions from those who weren't standing, so I'll start. They must have something to ask us, so I'll start with Nick Robinson.
Thank you very much. Sorry, forgive me. Just waiting for the microphone. Thank you, Prime Minister. Happy to stand if you like. Your film at the beginning, let me just make sure I've got the names right, showed Jack, James and Jill. Doesn't every Jack, James and Jill, every Tom, Dick and Harry know that the future involves government doing less and spending less? Yet your manifesto and your speech lists all the new things government will do and hasn't named a single thing that you won't be able to do in the future. And if I may, can I ask you to deal, you sort of dealt with this, but give you a chance to deal with the scepticism the public has about all parties' manifestos, the sense that your manifesto, their manifestos, didn't see the expenses crisis coming, didn't see the economic crisis coming, didn't see the war getting worse in Afghanistan. Is it worth, worth the paper it's written?
It is a long question, but I'll give an answer. Nick. First of all, we've got a 4-year plan to cut the deficit. We've done more than any other country to set out our plans in detail, the tax changes, the public spending reductions, and of course the growth that we will achieve to make that possible. And we said very clearly £11 billion from efficiency savings, £4 billion from public sector pay and pensions, and £5 billion from non-priority areas. I don't think any party could have been clearer. And our party's promises for the future are not based on a flimsy 4-page document that doesn't add up. But you know, Nick, you're right. There's a big issue here about the future of politics and trust in politics. I think most of us here are interested in politics because we want to serve the public and not to serve ourselves. And most people came into politics not because of what was in it for them, but what they thought they could do for other people. And I am absolutely sure that having let the public down, and all politicians must apologise for that, we can build a more open, fairer, more transparent and democratic politics for the future. And I do say to you, Nick, if you look at our manifesto, the proposals we make, the right of recall against MPs who behave badly and Parliament doesn't act, the right to petition the House of Commons and have your views listened to, the right to have a referendum next year to reform the House of Commons and to reform the House of Lords, we are prepared to learn from past mistakes, and we are prepared to put forward bold new proposals. And I would rather be standing on a manifesto that said, here is what we're going to do for the future, than on a manifesto like the Conservatives, who will defend tomorrow hereditary peers and no change in the House of Commons. That's why I say we're in the future business and future change to make for a better democracy. Thom.
Could I just, on page 1.4, there seems to be, just reading the wording of some of your pledges on tax, there seems to be a strong hint of the possibility of VAT going up. At least you very clearly left that door open. Given the nature of the public finances, could you just be straight with the British people today and say, is that a possibility? When might it happen and by how much?
Our manifesto covers exactly the same issues that we've covered in 1997, 2001, 2005. On VAT, we've made a clear issue about not putting VAT on children's clothes or on transport or on newspapers or on food. We've never actually made any pledge about the VAT rate, but I can give you an absolute assurance. We have not raised VAT since 1997. The only party that has raised VAT in the last 25 years is the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party doubled it from 8 to 15%, then put it up to 17.5%, then put VAT on fuel and power and electricity that hurt pensioners with the fuel bills. That is something we have not done, and it's something that over the last few months, when we had a decision to make about what we did about the deficit, we decided we will put national insurance up, because national insurance is the way that we pay for our health services and our public services, and we will not put up VAT. That was a decision that the Chancellor made in his pre-budget report. Our plans, our deficit reduction plans, add up without having to put up VAT. I would hesitate but suggest that the Conservative Party's plans do not add up without assuming that they will put up VAT.
Sky News. Prime Minister, a Cabinet Office guidelines state, in any case, it is advised that election meetings should not be permitted on NHS premises. You've just claimed that we built this hospital. This is a Labour Party meeting. I was under the impression that all taxpayers ultimately paid for this. And while we're on that subject, this hospital cost 600 million, yet the taxpayers will pay 2.5 billion for it under a PFI. Two entities like the Royal Bank of Scotland and HBOS, the very esteemed entities, isn't that in fact blighting the future of taxpayers rather than offering them the bright future which you've outlined
today?
Well,
I know, Adam, that the Conservative Party are complaining that we found such a wonderful building to launch our manifesto. And I know that they are texting round the place and probably to all of you to say that this is completely wrong. This is a building that is held by the construction firm that will be passed on to the National Health Service in the next few weeks. And as for our investment in the National Health Service, because we use public-private partnerships, because we've been able to merge public and private finance together, we've built 110 hospital developments in this country in the last 13 years. So we will continue to use public and private finance working together to create the new hospitals of the future and the new schools and the new transport infrastructure. And I do say, look at Britain in 1997. Look at where our hospitals were. Remember that people were waiting for 2 years for operations. And look at what we've managed to work with the Birmingham people and the rest of the world, the rest of the country, to create now. Gary.